Hey guys, this is Kat here from Bitten Apple TV. Now we are here at Urban Action Showcase Expo. I mean, we are here kicking butt and enjoying ourselves. And then I came across some pipe cleaners by Darren Garcia over here that are not quite what you would expect to be cleaning your pipes. I mean, how did you come up with this idea of Action Fuzz? Because they look awesome. Was it like too many fights as a kid and you like, man, these things hurt. Maybe I should make them a little softer. I'm just curious.
Nah. Basically, like, I started this when I was 7 years old, so I've been doing this for 29 years now. Basically, it started when I was I originally was born in Yonkers, New York, but for 1 year of my life, I actually lived in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and at that time, it was pretty hard times on me and my family. And I took a wire tie from a loaf of bread and actually made something no bigger than a dime out of it. And then it just evolved into what you see now. Like when I was 18 and when I was attending Brooklyn Job Corps, my art teacher just basically gave me anything and everything I needed to be able to explore and be able to do more and more stuff, to where I came up with my own system and how to make these. And then it dawned on me, because I was only making original characters, I was like, you know what? But since now that I could do this, I can make characters from video games, I can make characters from comic books, from anime, from cartoons and movies and stuff like that. And since then, it's been a bit of a roller coaster ride. I haven't officially started setting up shows or anything like that till I want to say about 2013. Was when I finally actually started trying to actually push and sell this artwork. And everywhere I go, I've had my early artwork put into museums as pieces and stuff like that. And everywhere I go, like art galleries or shows like this, it's always very well received. It's that bit of nostalgia that everybody absolutely loves. That's the reason for shows like this, I just love doing this. I'm happy to be here.
So what I want to ask you is, when it comes to whether you're picking from anime, video games, or comic books, what would you say is like your top 3 inspiration that you really started with and then started to perfect it from there?
I would have to say mostly was television. I think the first non-original character I ever made was Raphael from the Ninja Turtles.
I think my cameraman would appreciate that, because his name is Ralph.
Well, Raphael from the Ninja Turtles, he was always my favorite. Heartwarming story about my dad, who passed away 3 years ago.
Sorry to hear.
When he took, the day he took me to see the first Ninja Turtles movie, that weekend was also he ever bought me my first pair of size. And we didn't have a car, so I actually had the size in a paper bag. A 7-year-old boy walking into the movie theater, they don't let you in with a soda from outside, but a 7-year-old kid with real ninja weapons, yeah, come right in. It was hilarious.
Oh my God, that is awesome. I have to go back and call my father, like, you guys, what happened? What happened? Wow, that's pretty flippin' awesome. I don't think anyone else is gonna have that story, and that's...
No, it was last year I was able to actually meet Ken Scott, the stuntman who was Raphael in that movie, and I told him that story. I actually gave him a Raphael figure. What I love doing is I come to shows like this not only just to sell, but I find out which celebrity is going to be there. If there's somebody that's greatly influenced me, prime example, Professor Bam, Willie Johnson. Watching WMAC Masters when I was a kid, I actually made the figure of what he looked like in WMAC Masters. Last year at Hudson Valley Comic Con, I made a figure of Timok. Granted, this is the 6th time I've met Timok. We're practically friends now. But last year at Hudson Valley Comic Con, I made it a point to make a figure to give it to him. Michael Jai White last year at the Urban Action Showcase, I made Spawn, Bronze Tiger, Black Dynamite, Mike Tyson, Doomsday, Jax, as well as I forget who else, but 6 different figures of characters that he played as, and gave it to him. And I don't do it for autographs. It's basically my way of giving back to the people who have influenced me so much as far as this artwork and in life in general.
So I love Tyson. I got to interview him for his Tyson Mysteries. But what is it like when, the reactions when they see like a minifigure of themselves?
It wasn't Mike Tyson. It was Michael Jai.
Michael Jai.
Michael Jai White. Because the first iconic role he ever played was Mike Tyson in the movie Tyson. A lot of people don't remember that.
It's okay, don't worry. But what's the reaction that you get from them?
the first person I ever did this for was Jason David Frank, the original Green Ranger. He was shocked, and he wouldn't let me leave the Javits Center without an autograph. I don't do it for that. Michael Jai White, unfortunately, because of the way he was booked, I wasn't really able to see him until like the show was already over. There's just somebody helped me meet him in a freight elevator, get an out of focus picture. The only figure I was able to show him was the Spawn, and he was like, "You really made this?" Just completely blown away by it. Luke Feng, who was the Centipede from the 5 Deadly Venoms, he literally did this. He was literally taken back when he saw me make the figure of him from the movie.
That's how you know you have good stuff, when you're getting that beautiful, warm reaction out. Have there been any characters so far that you have not made that you would like to make?
Say again?
Are there any characters that you haven't made yet but you would like to?
The list goes on. It is just so many different characters. Others, it's like I haven't, not because I don't want to or because I can't. It's just that I haven't figured out how to make them yet.
So what would you say is your recent influences now? Like, are you leaning? I heard you mention anime. Are you a Bleach fan? Like, what's going on?
It's funny. It's funny you mentioned Bleach because when I met Johnny Young Bosch and gave him 2 of the different Rangers he played, I was completely oblivious to the fact that he's got a list of anime voiceover credits longer than the table I just rented. And I was literally blown away, and to find out that he actually was the dubbed voice for Ichigo, I was like, and for everything else that he did, it's like there's not enough pipe cleaners in the world to make all the characters that he did. And I told him, it's like, if you ever come back to New York, aside from the 2 different Rangers that he played as, I would make I would make the characters. He's like, which ones do you want? Which ones would you make? And I told him Vash the his 3 most iconic: Vash the Stampede, Kaneda from Akira, and Ichigo from Bleach. And my business partner at the time saw that he wasn't really interested, wasn't really impressed, and she's like, well, which one do you, which would you prefer? He said one name who to this day I still can't remember. Don't know where he's from, don't know the guy's name. If I see him, I might remember like who it is. But then the other one he says is Artemis. I was like, who's Artemis? And he points at the white cat from Sailor Moon, and my immediate reaction was, I hate Sailor Moon.
Okay, that was not expected.
My influence now, it's still more, it's comic books, it's video games, it's movies.
What's the last game you played?
Say again?
What's the last video game you played?
Last video game I played? Considering I just plugged my PS2 back in,
I still have mine. No shame. I wasn't prepared.
Because I have a PS4, and the last game that I was able to play on that was Skylanders Imaginators. But the problem is, because it's in my living room, and I live with my sister, my brother-in-law, and since my father passed away, hard times, so I stuck with the family, for these past.
Family comes first.
And my PS4 is bogarted by my 5-year-old niece, 3-year-old, and 2-year-old nephew.
Get a Switch. You're gonna be all right if you get a Switch.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna be moving out soon, so it doesn't matter. But the last game I played on PS2 was Def Jam Fight for New York. Which I've wanted them to come out with a new Def Jam game, but considering the artists that they have now and the fact that you have to also consider the soundtrack that it would have, is like, no, I don't want a new Def Jam game.
I think the last game I played on the PlayStation 2 was Final Fantasy X2. That was the last one. I had just finished playing all the other ones, and that was my last game. And then I graduated to the other ones, and now I'm on Xbox. Now that's just been my thing, Xbox, ever since.
Xbox isn't as practical as PlayStation.
That I admit to, yeah.
That's my only issue with Xbox. Like, aside from that, they got great games, this, that, the other, but it's not as practical as a PlayStation is. So that's the only reason why I have it. But seriously, no complaints.
And my next thing is trying to get the Switch. That's my next thing that I want to get. My friend got it and he gave me Zelda, and I was just like, oh, now I have to get the Switch. Just more reasons for me to waste money. But for those who are now like, now, wow, that conversation got sidetracked, where can they come find you online? They want to get some Action Fuzz themselves.
Right now, my Etsy isn't necessarily doing too well due to the fact that the majority of the stuff I posted has already either been given away or sold. But I haven't posted anything up there. But you can find me on Facebook. Look up Action Fuzz. Look up my whole name, Darren Garcia. Find my YouTube channel, Action Fuzz. No problem. Facebook, you can message me and just tell me if you see something you like or something you think I can make. And I have no problem shipping it to you.
Make sure you guys check him out. Sign up on his YouTube channel, see everything that he's making, the latest action figures. And by the way, if you have an idea, let him know. I mean, he's got people being literally taken back on what he's creating. Make sure you guys check out Action Fuzz. Thank you.
Most definitely.
Bye.